Trophy hunting is a fun sub-hobby within the hobby of gaming itself. It's a nice feeling and sense of accomplishment whenever you go out of your way to acquire all the trophies a game has to offer, especially if the game makes you go the extra mile to really earn everything the trophy list has to offer. However, due to the nature of game creation, sometimes unintended bugs and glitches sneak their way into the game, and by virtue, this can also affect the trophies in the game too. In this video, I will be listing 10 games with unobtainable platinums due to glitches or issues with the game. Number 10, Boundless. Boundless is an online, massively multiplayer sandbox game, pretty similar to Minecraft. In the game, players explore randomly generated worlds that are made up of different types and shapes of blocks. Players must use these blocks to craft various weapons, items, and devices. One such creation being a portal that allows players to travel to different worlds. When the game released on the PlayStation 4 in September of 2018, it also brought along with it a series of troublesome trophies, 3 to be exact. Those trophies being Journal Addict, No Feat Too Great, and Where No One Has Gone Before. These trophies seem to be unobtainable due to missing content. As for one trophy, Journal Addict, requires you to complete 185 journal objectives. But the problem is there only exists a total of 183 objectives in the game. And to add even further insult to injury, some of the available objectives are buggy and may not even count upon completion. Or in another instance, the trophy No Feat Too Great requires you to complete 675 feats in the game. But here's the issue, there only exists 390 feats that are actually in the game, with additional daily and weekly feats not counting towards this total. Now you'd hope that this all would be remedied by now or at some point in the future, but seeing as the last big update for the game was in September of 2020, and there hasn't been any achievers of any of these trophies as of the time of writing this video in 2025, I think it's a safe bet to call this game platinumless. Number 9, Cobra Kai 2 Dojo's Rising. Cobra Kai 2 Dojo's Rising is a side-scrolling beat-em-up that is a sequel to Cobra Kai, The Karate Kid Saga Continues, both of which are based on the Cobra Kai TV series, which in itself is based off the Karate Kid franchise. But the bad guys are not the only thing you'll be fighting, as the game has a number of buggy trophies, about 5 of them. As a matter of fact, when looking into this game, it seems the game as a whole is a buggy mess. Players have reported being unable to pick up weapons, enemies spawning outside of combat arenas, constant stuttering and freezing, and a laundry list of other issues. Looking at the broken trophies descriptions, they all seem like fairly easy requirements, so for so many of them to be broken is pretty baffling. The game released in 2022 and there hasn't been any achievers of the broken trophies or any more major updates to the game at this point, so I think this game is a wash. And don't get clever thinking you'll just skip the PS4 version and play it on the PS5, as the PS5 version is just as broken as well. Looks like there's no platinums in this dojo. Number 8, Haunted House. Haunted House is an isometric roguelike where you take control of one of many kids that are trapped inside this haunted mansion. It's a remake of the Atari 2600 classic. Now, this game's trophy list seems to be haunted, as there's 3 trophies that can't be acquired. People have contacted the game's developers in an attempt to make them aware of the issues in the hopes of a fix, but the devs have been radio silent on the issues. It's been 2 years now since the game's launch and there's no reports of any fixes, so it appears the only real ghost in this game is the Platinum Trophy. Number 7, We Sing Pop. We Sing Pop is a karaoke music game that features different songs in the pop genre for players to sing along to. However, the music stops when you realize it's just one trophy blocking players from singing their way to the platinum. The trophy Pop Queen requires players to score over 50,000 points in all songs. Nobody seems to have gotten this trophy since the game's 2016 release, and upon further research, it seems as if the game was pretty buggy overall, with a lot of buggy trophies and others not unlocking. A patch was released that did fix some of these other issues, but this one particular trophy was never fixed. Unfortunately, playing with the disc version of the game won't fix this issue either. While you can earn some of the other bug trophies by playing a disc version of the game, Pop Queen is completely unobtainable. Number 6, Toy Soldiers War Chest. Toy Soldiers War Chest is an action strategy game where players control an army of toys that must prevent the enemy units from reaching the toy box by building and upgrading turrets. The battle continues onto the trophy list too, due to the trophy challenger, which requires players to complete all of the challenges for every level of a hero's campaign. The crazy part about this one is that the trophy has been broken since the game's launch. Dedicated trophy hunters have made numerous attempts to contact the game's developer, Signal Studios, and their publisher, Ubisoft, but to no avail, both sides eventually leaving them in radio silence. Even crazier is that this is broken on all 3 platforms the game is on: PS4, Xbox, and PC. Now when you look up this trophy and the plat on PSN profiles, you'll see it has a 0.01% achievement rate. However, this was blatantly hacked, as when you look at the recent achievers, the list remains empty. There is no legitimate way to pop this trophy. And lastly, the game's server is shut down in September of 2020, locking this platinum trophy away in the toy box for good. Number 5, Ground Zero Texas Nuclear Edition. Ground Zero Texas Nuclear Edition is a remaster of an FMV game that was released on the Sega CD in 1993. In it, players must battle against the alien menace and defeat them before the area is destroyed by a nuclear bomb. But what can't be defeated are these bugs. 4 broken trophies plague this game. 2 of these trophies are unobtainable due to shoddy programming. The most egregious broken trophy on this list is Texas Video Rental, which requires you to unlock all the gameplay videos. One of the videos doesn't seem to play at the right time due to a programming bug, but the most baffling glitch is apparently the trigger for the other video just flat out doesn't exist in the game, period. Meaning that there's no way to access the video at all, meaning there's no way to unlock the Texas Video Rental trophy, which also means there's no way to get the Texas Historian trophy, which also means there's no way to get the platinum. Number 4, Shattered Tale of the Forgotten King. Shattered Tale of the Forgotten King is a Souls-like action RPG where you fight terrifying enemies and dangerous bosses. The biggest boss in this game is the 2 glitched trophies that prevent you from getting the platinum. People have reached out to the game's developer, Redlock Studio, about these issues. While the game did receive a patch, this patch unfortunately didn't seem to help the game any. People have reported some trophies no longer unlocking, and even a nasty bug involving save data being corrupted or not even saving at all. Both the PS4 and PS5 versions suffer from issues and cannot be platinumed. And by the looks of it, the PS4 version is even more broken than the PS5 version. According to info from the developer's Discord, they have been waiting on their publisher, Forthright Entertainment, to allow them to get a fix out for the game. This was sometime back in January of 2024, and as of March 2024, the devs have said that they no longer have plans to fix the game and have other projects that they are working on, thus leaving this game and its platinum trophy truly forgotten. Number 3, Fishing Master. Fishing games are usually a chill and relaxing experience, just sitting back and enjoying the sights and calm sounds while waiting for the next catch. Fishing Master is not a chill and relaxing game, however, if you are a trophy hunter. Fishing Master is a VR fishing experience featuring 5 completely broken, unobtainable trophies. This game sets itself up to be a trophy hunter's white whale. This game has been broken since launch, and with the game's developer going out of business not long after release, Fishing Master's Platinum Trophy is pretty much dead in the water. Number 2, Wild Bastards. Wild Bastards is a Wild West themed science fiction first person shooter roguelike. Players must travel to different sectors that have randomly generated planets to gather upgrades and rescue playable characters to help you on your journey. The problem with this game lies in a whopping 1 singular trophy out of the whole list. The trophy, called Collector, requires players to collect all mods. The problem is that the trophy asks for 134 mods to be collected, but there are only 124 of them actually in the game. The devs are aware of the problem but can't put out a fix as they are waiting on their publisher, Maxim. And as of July 29th, 2025, the developers have stated that they have no plans to add any more updates to the game, leaving this trophy and platinum unobtainable for the foreseeable future. Number 1, Dragonfin Soup. Dragonfin Soup is a top-down roguelike RPG where you play as an alcoholic yet cheerful mercenary. This game is an absolute mess. Not only are 3 of the trophies on the list broken, the game as a whole suffers from a whole host of bugs and glitches. Constant freezing and crashes, saves corrupting, broken quests that break story progress, and a lot of others. This game is also buggy and broken on all of the platforms it's released on. that being the PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, PS4, and PC, with apparently the PS3 and Vita versions being the worst of the group. It gets even worse as the game was once offered on PS Plus, therefore increasing the number of people that could stumble upon this broken mess of a game. People have reached out to the developer Grim Bros to let them know about the game, and for a while, Grim Bros would let people know about the state of the game and that they were allegedly having issues with the porting studio as to why they couldn't fix the PlayStation versions of the game. But soon, the updates and news on the game dwindled, and the developers went radio silent for prolonged periods of time. Sometime after this, Grim Bros came back with an announcement. They were going to release an updated version of the game known as Dragon Fin Soup Extra Chunky Edition, which was to include bug fixes and new features added to the game. This would have been a good update for the game, especially the PlayStation versions, seeing as they were not receiving updates. So the players patiently waited and waited for this new edition of the game to arrive, but the waiting was a lost cause as the Extra Chunky Edition never surfaced. The developer Grim Bros have since completely vanished off the internet, and this is the sole video game that they have ever released, leaving Dragon Fin Soup completely abandoned. Even the behind the scenes of this game is a mess. The game was originally funded through Kickstarter, and according to some of the backers, they never even received their physical rewards for backing the game. And those were 10 broken platinum trophies. What are your thoughts on these games? Have you heard of any of these infamous bugged plats? Have you had the misfortune of adding any of these games to your list? Or were you close to playing one of these games and narrowly avoided making that terrible mistake? Leave your answers in the comments below. I'm Stepmac35 and I'm out. Please don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe. Peace.